Before crisps came in 20 flavors and chocolate bars shrank to half their size, these were the snacks that made British childhoods unforgettable. 1. Wagon wheels, original size. Let's start with the legend, wagon wheels. If you grew up in Britain, you remember when these chocolate-covered marshmallow biscuits were the size of your face, or at least that's how it felt in your small hands. 2 crumbly biscuits sandwiched a layer of marshmallow, all coated in a thin layer of chocolate. They were a lunchbox staple, a reward after school, and a treat you'd swap half your break time for. Today's wagon wheels are a shadow of their former selves, smaller, thinner, and somehow less magical. But if you had the original, you know why every family loved them. 2. Spangles. Spangles were the boiled sweets that defined a generation. Sold in colorful, crinkly wrappers, they came in classic fruit flavors and the mysterious Old English variety. Think licorice, aniseed, and other grown-up tastes. You'd buy them by the roll, share them with friends, and try to make them last as long as possible. The best part was the way they'd stick to the inside of your cheek, slowly dissolving as you watched TV or walked to school. Spangles disappeared in the 1980s, but their memory lingers on in every sweet shop nostalgia thread. 3. Aztec bar. Cadbury's answer to the Mars bar, the Aztec was a chocolate bar filled with caramel and nougat. It was rich, chewy, and just the right size for an after-school treat. The wrapper was a deep purple, and the adverts promised a taste of adventure. Sadly, the Aztec vanished in the late 1970s, but for those who remember, it was the gold standard of chocolate bars. Gone, but never forgotten. 4. Texan bar. Sure is a mighty chew. If you remember the Texan bar, you remember the Wild West adverts and the challenge of actually finishing one. This bar was a slab of chewy nougat and toffee, covered in chocolate and designed to last. It was the snack you bought if you wanted something to keep you busy for a whole episode of Blue Peter. The Texan bar disappeared in the 1980s, but its reputation for jaw-aching toughness lives on. 5. Cabana bar. If you wanted a taste of the tropics, you reached for a Cabana bar. Coconut, caramel, and cherry, all wrapped in milk chocolate. This was the closest most British kids got to an exotic holiday. The adverts were pure 80s cheese, but the taste was unforgettable. Cabana bars vanished from shelves in the late 80s, but for a while they were the ultimate treat for anyone with a sweet tooth. 6. Cremola foam. Cremola foam was the fizzy, fruity powder that turned a glass of water into a sherbet explosion. You'd spoon it into a cup, add water, and watch it fizz up into a frothy, colorful drink. It was messy, it was sugary, and it was pure fun. Every family had a tin in the cupboard, and every kid tried eating it straight from the spoon at least once and regretted it. Cremola foam is long gone, but it's still the stuff of playground legend. 7. Two-door crisps. Before Walker's took over, there was two-door crisps, a regional favorite, especially in the north. Two-door offered flavors you couldn't get anywhere else: pickled onion, gammon, and even tomato ketchup. The bags were smaller, the crisps were crunchier, and the taste was pure nostalgia. If you grew up in a two-door town, you know these were the best crisps money could buy. 8. Smith's crisps with salt sachet. Smith's crisps were the original do-it-yourself snack. Each bag of plain crisps came with a little blue twist of salt, and it was your job to sprinkle it in and shake the bag. Sometimes you get 2 salt sachets, sometimes none at all, but that was part of the fun. The taste was simple, the crunch was perfect, and the ritual of adding the salt made it feel special. Today's ready salted just isn't the same. 9. Jamboree bags. Jamboree bags were the lucky dip of the sweet world. For a few pence, you'd get a paper bag filled with a random mix of sweets, a cheap toy, and sometimes a balloon or a sticker. The excitement was in not knowing what you'd get. Would it be a sherbet fountain, a mini chocolate bar, or a plastic ring? Jamboree bags were a birthday party essential and a Saturday treat, and every family had their own shop to buy them from. 10. Fry's 5 centers. Fry's 5 centers was a chocolate bar with a difference. 5 segments, each filled with a different fruit-flavored fondant. Orange, raspberry, lime, strawberry, and pineapple, all in one bar. It was a taste adventure, and you never knew which flavor you'd get next. Fry's 5 centers disappeared in the 1990s, but for those who remember, it was the ultimate sharing bar, or the ultimate argument starter. 11. Bar 6. Bar 6 was the lunchbox hero of the 1970s. 6 fingers of chocolate-covered wafer wrapped in a bright orange packet. It was crunchy, sweet, and just the right size for a break-time snack. Bar 6 was perfect for sharing, or not, and every family had a stash in the biscuit tin. It quietly disappeared in the 1980s, but it's still fondly remembered by anyone who ever swapped snacks at school. 12. Caramac. Caramac was the golden bar that wasn't quite chocolate and wasn't quite toffee. Its unique caramel flavor and creamy texture made it a favorite for kids and adults alike. The bright red and yellow wrapper was instantly recognizable, and the taste was unlike anything else on the shelves. Caramac is still around in limited runs, but the original bars of the 60s and 70s were something special. 13. Pink Panther wafers. If you wanted something sweet and a little bit silly, you reached for Pink Panther wafers. Bright pink, strawberry-flavored and layered with crispy wafer, these biscuits were a tea-time favorite. The packaging featured the famous cartoon panther, and the taste was pure nostalgia. They're still available in some shops, but the original recipe and packaging are long gone. 14. Terry's Pyramid. Terry's Pyramid was a chocolate pyramid filled with smooth mint fondant. It looked exotic, tasted luxurious, and was the kind of treat you got as a special reward. The pyramid was short-lived, disappearing in the early 1990s, but for a while it was the most sophisticated snack in the sweet shop. 15. Nutty Bar. Last but not least, the Nutty Bar. Chewy, sweet, and packed with peanuts, this was the snack you bought when you needed something to keep you going. The Nutty Bar was sticky, satisfying, and perfect for sharing on a family day out. It vanished from shelves in the 80s, but it's still remembered by anyone who ever had to pick bits of peanut out of their teeth after break. These were the snacks that filled our lunch boxes, our pockets, and our memories. They were the treats you begged for at the corner shop, swapped with friends at school, and shared with your family on a Saturday night. Some were sweet, some were savory, and some were just a little bit strange, but they were all part of growing up in Britain. Today's snacks might come in more flavors and fancier packaging, but there's something about these forgotten treats that just can't be replaced. Maybe it's the memories of simpler times, or maybe it's just the taste of nostalgia. Either way, if you remember these snacks, you know you were part of something special. Which forgotten snack do you miss the most? And which one would you bring back if you could? Share your favorites in the comments, because some treats are too good to stay forgotten.